There's this simple yet incredibly profound rhythm that runs our entire lives. It's something we experience every single day, but we probably don't stop to think about it all that much. I'm talking about the rhythm of day and night. Really, it's the fundamental beat that all life on Earth is tuned to.
It starts with the night, that time of quiet, of stillness. And then, of course, comes the day, filled with light, with energy, with activity. And this cycle, it just keeps going, on, endlessly. It's this beautiful, blessed rhythm where every living thing, from the smallest insect to us, finds it's time to wake up and it's time to rest.
Now, what's really important to get here is that these aren't just random chunks of time. No, they each have a very distinct purpose. On one hand, you've got the day. That's our time for work, for seeing the world around us, for living in the light. But then you have the night. That's for rest, for sleep, for quiet tranquility in the darkness. Each one has its own job, and they work together in this perfect, incredible balance.
So, what's pulling the strings here? What's the mechanism that orchestrates this perfect balance for all of us down on Earth? Well, for that, we've got to look up. Let's talk about the massive clocks in the sky that literally define our world. See, the rising and setting of the sun and the moon, it's so much more than just a daily light show. As these celestial bodies move, time itself is literally unfolding. Day turns into night, and boom, that's time passing. These cycles build on each other, turning into seasons, which then mark the change of entire eras. And right in the middle of it all, the journey of human life goes on, measured by these very same cosmic movements. Okay, now this is where things get really fascinating. We usually think of time like this wild, unstoppable river, right? Just rushing forward, totally chaotic. But the source material here gives us this amazing contrast. It says, yeah, the river of time can't be stopped for sure, but its flow isn't chaotic at all. It's actually precisely determined. And that, of course, just begs the question, doesn't it? If this unbelievably huge and complex system isn't just random, if its flow is perfectly controlled down to the smallest detail, then who or what is the one doing the determining? Well, to dig into that question, we're going to look at a theological perspective, drawing from the Quran. See, from this viewpoint, this incredible cosmic order isn't just a matter of physics. It's presented as a whole series of divine signs for people who really stop and think about it.
This verse kind of sets the whole stage. It's suggesting that the simple thing we see every day, night changing to day and day changing to night, is itself a profound sign. It's basically an open invitation to look a little deeper, to go from just seeing the cycle to actually understanding what it means.
And here, we get an even more detailed picture. Let's just take a second to really soak in the imagery in this passage. It says, "And a sign for them is the night. We withdraw from it the day, and behold, they are in darkness. And the sun runs on its fixed course for a term decreed. And the moon, we've determined for it phases. It is not allowable for the sun to reach the moon, nor does the night overtake the day, but each, in an orbit, is swimming."
Wow. So let's break down what that beautiful, poetic language is actually telling us. What are the core principles here? First, the very idea of night is a sign in itself. It's what's left when the day is withdrawn. Second, the sun isn't just wandering around up there, it's on a very specific, determined path. Third, the moon goes through these meticulously planned out phases. And maybe the most important point of all, nothing crashes. Nothing gets in the way of anything else. Every single one is just swimming in its own lane. It's a universe of perfect, interlocking precision.
So, the big question is, what does this have to do with us? Well, this is where the source material makes a really powerful connection, taking this idea of a flawless cosmic balance and tying it directly to the foundation of our human existence.
I mean, just think about that one phrase from the verse we just read. The night cannot overtake the day. It's such a beautiful way to describe a system where everything has its own space, its own purpose, and operates in perfect harmony. There's no conflict, no chaos.
And here's where it all comes together. The idea is that this massive celestial principle of different parts working together without conflict, complementing each other, is mirrored right here in humanity. This divine balance is put forward as the very foundation for the continuation of life itself, reflected in the equality and the complementary roles of man and woman. So as we wrap this up, think about the journey we've just been on. We started with the simple rhythm of waking and sleeping, and we ended up way out in the cosmos, watching the silent dance of the sun and the moon. And the message, through it all, seems to be that these are all signs that point to a deliberate,
incredibly intricate and absolutely beautiful order. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. This celestial rhythm is just one example, right? The source suggests this pattern, this order, is woven into the very fabric of everything. So the question for you is this: if this rhythm is all around us, what other signs do we start to see when we really truly stop and take a look?